Hi everybody, my name is Hayden McNeil. I'm a park ranger at Cuyahoga Valley National Park, and this is our African American History pop-up. So, the main thing that we want to highlight with this pop-up is the question, do African Americans get the credit that they deserve for shaping the cultural and natural landscape of the Cuyahoga Valley in northeastern Ohio? Our central theme question is, what do the stories that we preserve say about us as a society? So we really want to jump into why are we taught certain things, why do we know these stories versus this kind of story, and we really wanted to explore some prominent figures in Cleveland and Akron's history that had a huge impact on northeastern Ohio, and we wanted to get their story out there. If you're coming up to the table, you can see a couple different things to get your eyes looking at really quickly. We have questions, we have jars. We have a canal boat up here that represents the Ohio Erie Canal, and that is a major thoroughfare through the park historically. It's still around today where people are riding the towpath. We have a representation of the Cuyahoga River, which is also central to the park. And Whitney, do you want to explain what these cards are that are above and below the river?
Yes, so basically we made a little timeline that kind of like goes along the river, and on the top part of the timeline are basically cards that explain events that happened in African American history, and then the bottom cards explain in either the same year or around the same year African American events that happened in the city of Cleveland or Akron or in northeastern Ohio.
Perfect. So you can take a look at these cards, you can read, and then we want you to get interactive with the pop-up. So one of our dialogic questions over here is what's a story from your life that you would like to be remembered by? We have a small whiteboard down there with a marker. We really hope people can express some of the stories from their life, their lived experience, and get involved and reflect on a story that they truly would hope people would remember them by once time has passed. Another one over here, what does the word privilege mean to you? And we have a cartoon that we want people to soak in, reflect, take some time and think about that word and how it's affected their life. And lastly, we have voting jars. And Erich, do you want to explain those?
I'd love to. So over here we have an interactive piece of the exhibit where we ask individuals to answer what speaks to them the most at this moment in their lives. So we have some icons here. We have peace, we have new horizons, breaking down new barriers, and law. And so some of these individuals that are above the symbols are lesser known figures that have to do with history of Cleveland and the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. So for example, right here, George Peak. He was the first settler, African American settler in Cleveland. And not that many folks may remember George Peak, but we get a chance here with this pop-up to explore George Peak's history by exploring the individuals who visit this pop-up's dreams and their aspirations for the future. So if someone who's visiting the park is thinking about new horizons, they may want to learn about George Peak's horizons.
Awesome. So these are the 4 African Americans that we chose to highlight. Lastly, we do have a ring of cards down here. These are a conversation starter. If you look at these 4 individuals, you don't know who they are, you're kind of nervous to ask. Maybe you can flip through these cards. These are prominent figures that have recognizable names. Toni Morrison, Jesse Owens, Al Roker, etc. You may be able to piece together some of their names and what they've done. So while we may know their names, it's usually unknown that they're from or moved to the Cleveland area and have strong ties to northeastern Ohio. So that can be a great way to get people involved, kind of get their foot in the door with African Americans in the Cuyahoga Valley region and get them learning. Thank you.